Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Cassandra here, and today we're talking about a first horror book I think I've ever read. So today we're talking about Kin by Kealan Patrick Burke, and so excited to talk about it. And grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you're drinking. Let me know down below and let's get it started. As mentioned, today we're going to be talking about Kin, which is a first horror book that I feel like I've ever read. That was one of the best one, and it's very kind of like a body horror, which is like when someone is being tortured or something is altered in their bodies. That's the kind of book that this is. So I've read some thrillers before. I've never read a horror book as far as I'm aware. So that was the first one. And I was like, I've always had this internal kind of like, how can this be scary? You know, there's no music, there's no like pop out, how am I gonna know? But damn guys, did I enjoy this. So we have a plot where there is this lady and there's two guys. There is this dad and Pete, who is a young boy, and they're driving down the road and they can see this girl on the side of the road being beaten up, her eye is missing, and you know, they pull up and stop to help her. And her name is Claire. So we kind of go on this adventure with Claire about what happened to her. And in Elkwood, where it's happening, there's a family that they believe in God, and they believe that they need to stay to themselves, and anyone from the outside or the non-believers or whatever, they're coming in to hunt them. And so what they do, they basically kill people that are from the outside of town, like people traveling or hitchhikers, and they murder them and eat them, which is yeah, a wild ride. We have so when Claire was being kidnapped, what happened was she was a part of a group of 4 and she was the only one that survived. So we go on this wild adventure of what happened, what is happening behind the scenes, and very gruesome things are being described. So if you guys are very sensitive to that type of stuff, one, you probably shouldn't be reading horror. 2, probably from the blurb you will know that it's not for you. And I feel like people are always so afraid of recommending a book if it does have triggers. But I feel like if you're going to read a book that's a horror and you are so sensitive, maybe you should be aware not to do it. It talks on the back about people eating people. It talks about abuse. It talks about, you know, other things. In the first few pages, it mentions sexual abuse. It does mention body mutilation. It mentions death. So if death is a sensitive subject for you, anything underneath can trigger you, probably shouldn't be reading those books. So I feel like I don't want to always have to make a disclaimer when I'm talking about books that might be horror, you know? So there is few parts where in probably first 3 or 4 chapters, it's already disgusting. Like, it will make you cringe. It will make your stomach turn a little bit, and I loved every second of it. Then we get to, I think the book is in like 4 parts besides having chapters. So then second book, we get more people being introduced, and then we go to the third one where we kind of, this story keeps on going. And I must say that the first part of the book was my favorite part, and then it kind of like fizzled out because I feel like I had an expectation of it being really gruesome. Like, I wanted it to be like 10 out of 10, scary, disgusting. I wanted things to happen, and it kind of, sorry, my neighbors, literally, like, that's the first time I've ever seen them. They're in the kitchen, they're staring at what I'm doing because the light is so bright. It like fizzled out, and the level of intensity wasn't there for me for some reason. I still gave it 4 stars because I feel like for a first horror, my heart was pounding, and there were twists and turns, and like if I was watching it in a movie, I would definitely get a little spooked, and I would definitely be a little like, oh my god, what happens next? And I would definitely be cringing on everything that has happened to her and the other people. So I thought that it was really good, and for someone who's never read horror, and I was very skeptical of ever liking it. So yeah, if you guys are interested in watching like my journey, and I must say this reading vlog is a lot longer than any other one, let me know down below if you would like to just see reading vlogs as I go. So just, hello, this is a reading vlog, this is the end of the book, done. Or if you guys actually like it like I do now, where I kind of give you a blurb of what the book is about and a quick little review, and then you can go into the spoiler section. So let me know that down below, and enjoy the ride.
This or the guest list. I think I want to read something gruesome that is actually my first reading vlog to the first actual horror book. So I'm really excited, and I am going to do kind of like my kind of check-ins either for a few chapters or every something dramatics happens, because I have never actually read a book that's described as a horror book. So really excited, a little bit nervous. I don't mind gruesome scenes in movies, but it's just not something that really scares me. So let's get. So I think what we have is the entire family of like crazy people, because they say that the last time he messed up, his papa in grey to bust the fingers on his left hand and to set them all but the thumb and the middle one wrong. And now he's scared that his mom that stays in bed, mama in bed, would kill him because he messed up. So hey guys, so now we are on the part 2. So it kind of like, it started with the part 1. So we had the family chasing Claire. They killed John, which was the guy that saved her, and burned his house down. Then they went into the doctor that like patched her up, put all of the bodies from her friends into his house, saying that like staged it as it was him doing it. And Pete, he was the boy that actually saved her and drove her to a hospital because the doctor told him that he has to. So he's done that. She's saved now. She kind of, we got a couple of flashbacks or of what happened. So they basically, she was with her friends, so those 2 boys and 2 girls, including her, and they were walking, I don't know, in this heat, whatever, and the main road was closed, so they went like a side road, and then they got picked up by them. Basically, they like tied all of them up. They beheaded one of the guys, chopped the face off the others, like skinned his face, and then they killed the girl, going like through her chin, all the way up in front of Claire. And so she kind of starts getting flashbacks. She's talking to a state police officer, like her mom knows where she is, and they think that the doctor was the one to do it because obviously the bodies and stuff like that, but she's like, no, you had it wrong, they will be coming for me. So that's where we are at. We did get Luke's version of events, or not version of events, but what was happening from one of the cannibals, like from his point of view. So we got a backstory. They basically are some sort of like, I don't know what they believe in. They believe in God, some sort of God. And when he was younger, his sister basically decided to go down on him, and then she ended up dying. Well, the parents killed her, and then they circumcised him as a punishment because God would never agree to it. So I don't know. It sounds a little bit crazy. But I must say the book is quite a quick read. It is only 200 and something pages, and I am 85 pages in, so I will see how today goes. Good morning, I literally just rolled out of bed. So we got to a part 2 of the book where we got introduced. So at the end of the first part, we found out like Claire got to a hospital, Pete escaped, like the hillbillies family kind of, they burned out all of the houses. And anyways, so now we're on a part 2, and we got introduced or reintroduced to what was her name? Let me just double check. Louise, which is Pete's mom. We got reintroduced to her and Wayne, who's her partner, and we got introduced to Flint, which is Danny's, which is one of the boys that passed away. His brother, I think he was like a soldier, and he has a PI who he wants kind of got information, so he knows that things don't add up, and he really wants to go and like take matters into his own hands, and so does Pete. So as far as I'm concerned, I think they somewhere gonna connect, and gonna try to go and kind of get justice themselves. And yeah, so right now I'm on like a slower path, and it's a little boring. And that's being really, really mean, because all the other ones were like gruesome, quick pace, your heart was racing, and now I'm just like getting to know new people. And I find that that's not my favorite part in the books. It's like getting to know the people is not my favorite thing, but yeah, I am on 140 pages, so let's get it done. There was not much to kind of tell you guys in the part one, because it was just such a quick, gruesome part. So, yeah, I am almost at like a halfway mark, so I'm hoping this is gonna pick up a little. So, see you then. We just had someone come into Pete's mom's house. They shot her boyfriend or whatever, I think it was his cousin, and he's trying to touch her up, telling her how her ex-partner or the dead partner, how possessive he was, and he's like, but I don't know how to treat you. And so he's touching her up, she's saying like, please don't. And our little baby Pete, what does he do? He picks up a piece of a TV that was shattered and just sticks it up in his eye. So again, if you guys are sensitive to that content, that book probably isn't for you. Cause yeah, Keelan is definitely good with the description. I must say, the descriptions are great. So if you're squeamish, not for you, but if you like sick, twisted shit, then guys, grab a cup of coffee and let's go. Oh, it's been a while since I've updated you guys. I had like a very minimal reading yesterday, but it got to a point that was really boring, so we kind of got Flynn, I think, Finch, or whatever his name is, Danny's brother, get himself ready to go and go to Elkwood, and they like tortured the sheriff to find out where the crazy people live. Luke, which is one of the crazy people, he tried to kill his dad. It didn't work out. The mom passed away, so they explained about like maggots coming out of her body and stuff like that. That was graphic. That was the best part. Red flags probably. But besides that, so it just kind of slowed down, so I just wasn't really into it. And now we have Pete came over to see Claire, and she's like, I'm so happy to see you. And he's like, well, I'm happy to see you too. Why is that? He's like, well, I promised. And he goes, so why are you happy to see me? And she's like, because you're gonna take me back to Elkwood where everything happened. So I'm excited now. Now I want to see what happens next, because I feel like I expected it, because the beginning was so gruesome, and it was so gruesome for the first, 70 pages, that I kind of expected the next part to be just as gruesome, but it kind of slowed down, and I didn't really like that. I wanted the disgusting parts. So now we are back to, hopefully, some disgusting parts, and I'm gonna go. I will catch up with you guys in a sec. So yesterday we got, I was reading in the dark, and then we had a little date night, so we get this. So there is an uncle, I think, of the crazy family. So I think their mom's brother. And they talk about like how he was abused, how the dad was abused. And then we kind of fast forward to Pete being with his mom, and someone basically attacks her boyfriend. And then they come into the house, and this guy is like all touching up upon his mom. And Pete is standing there. She's like, don't react, don't react. And then he's like holding a gun to her chin, and he is touching up, like basically trying to rape her. And Pete comes in and takes a piece of glass from a broken TV and stabs it in his eye, which I was like, ew. And then they kind of leave. Like, she asked Pete to leave because she needs to get dressed, so they're gonna run away together. But then she comes over and pushes the glass into that guy's eye, and I just thought, ew. But at the same time, I was like, I can't stop reading. And then we kind of go into the crazy family perspective. So they run away to the brother of the mom, and he's like, oh, like, your sister is in the back of my truck. And he's like, are you sure she is dead? And she's like, yes, she is, but something is moving. And they basically describe like maggots moving and make so there's so many bugs inside of her that it's making her move. It was disgusting. Like I was like, "Mm." And I'm not like, bugs are something like bugs under her skin or stuff like that is just not my kind of thing. So today I have to download a couple of books for school and I have to do some work. So I feel like it's gonna slow down, but I do have I really want to do my moving my bookshelves around. So I really don't want to be late with the video for tomorrow. But then also I think they're too close together if it's Sunday and Tuesday. So I might do Wednesday and Sunday. I don't know. I'll ask on, because Wednesdays I do have classes online. So I don't know.
Guys, as I said in the beginning, you kind of know what I thought. So the ending of the book, I must say, the fact that Finch died, like I kind of expected it. I didn't want him to die, but I also, like, I knew Luke is going to be a big part. I knew he's going to come back and, you know, help. The sheriff surprised me. I knew that he knew, but I didn't like how, like, he didn't die the way I wanted to. It wasn't scary enough for me. So I feel like the ending of the book wasn't as intense as I wanted it to be, which I was kind of disappointed with because I had very high expectations for that book. And yeah, I think the first part of the book, maybe, you know, there was a couple of, like, when they were talking about their mom, you know, maggots coming out of her, that was a little disgusting. But other than that, I just did not think, I think the ending mellowed out and I didn't really like that. But Louise, I think that's her name, Pete's mom, survived and she wanted to see him, so they're going to live happily ever after. So I'm glad about that. And with all that being said, that is my second reading vlog of 2021. I wanted to know, what book would you like me to react to next? Let me know so I can order it now. And until the next time, I'll talk to you guys soon.